Hi everybody. So I'm heading to the farm, but I wanted to just share some insight about a session that I had yesterday at my office with one of my clients. It was a healing session and an energy healing session. And we got on the topic of our healing journeys and our emotional intelligence and how our healing journeys have shown us that we can actually pinpoint a little bit easier now where everybody else's emotional intelligence lies and where they are and how they view themselves as a person. By just how they're being, their energy, the words that they're saying. Are they conflicting, or are they actual, like, that person is secure and they know what they're talking about? So we got on that topic, and for me, I have been healing, diving deep into my healing for a little over a year now, and I'm doing it alone. I'm doing it without a distraction of a relationship because I wanted to know about me. I wanted to know who the hell I am. I wanted to know my patterns. I wanted to know my traits. I wanted to know how I was identifying myself, who I was identifying with, what thoughts and beliefs that I thought to be true that weren't even mine, right? So I'm cleaning all that out, and I knew that I needed to do it alone, and that's what I'm doing. So we got on the topic about, people just spitting out words and saying, like, I'm a positive person, and I'm healed, and I don't need this, and I don't need that. And I used to say things like that too. I used to tell people, like, yeah, choose you and know your worth. I know my worth, and I didn't know my worth to save my ass. Like, I didn't know what I was worthy of. I was always seeking validation from other people because I didn't feel important. I felt like I still had to prove my worth to others. Now I realize where that wound comes from and how to fix it and how to move forward from it. So, for instance, we were talking about this person. There was a person that I was listening to on a podcast. It was a podcast, and she owns her own business, and they were talking about it. And she was saying things in the beginning of the podcast like, do whatever makes you happy, and nobody should really care what you do, and if they do, then they have issues. Okay, so that's the message that she was giving out. Okay, now towards the end of the interview, they started talking about men. She's supposedly in a very male-dominating industry. She's a female, and I get it. We've all been there. The battle of that, right? I understand. I'm not being, snooty or being, not sensitive to that topic, because I know. But what she was embodying towards the end of the podcast was very much of a defense. She was saying things like, oh, I am ready for men to come at me. Like, I come back. I have no problem saying things to me or saying things to them after they say things to me, like snarky comments. I will come back. I am ready for them. And at one point, the interviewer asked, like, okay, like, who's your biggest motivator in life? And she's like, men. I'm just ready for them. And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, now you're embodying something different. So in the beginning of the podcast, you were explaining how it shouldn't matter what people think. Now you're saying you feel that you have to defend yourself every single time. So that's conflicting messages then at that point, right? Like, they are obviously looking for some type of reaction from you, and you're giving it to them, so actually they're winning by you responding back in a snarky comment with a snarky comment. You're matching their energy. So and people can come at me at like all different angles with this one, but if you are a secure person, you are securely attached with your abilities, female, male, whatever, you'll know. You're like, okay, like, if anyone came at me with snarky comments, okay, I hope you have a great day. Like, there's nothing. You have to feel important. You have to embody what you're saying, or you are going to send mixed emotions and mixed messages to everybody. Then who are you being? And now I'm starting to be really mindful of who I listen to and what advice I am taking from others, because to me, she portrayed that she's just not quite there with her identity. She's saying that she has great abilities, and I'm sure she does, but she needs to start embodying them and not worry about what men or women or anybody else is saying to her, just like she said in the beginning of the podcast. So anyway, moral of the story here is really just embodying you. And if you are on your way to becoming a secure person, keep going, because coming across a secure woman, male, whoever, good luck. You're not going to get that reaction from them, because then at that point they're not going to waste their time with you or anybody else, because they know their own ability. The only person that they convince is important and is great is them, and they know that, and they don't have to come up with comebacks. They don't have to be ready for anybody, because they just know. They know. You can't, and quite frankly, a person's going to feel that energy from you, and they're probably not even going to step up to that. They're probably not even going to want that. They're going to look for the weaker people, for the comments and the reactions, because I was that person. I was a weak person, and I would just sit there and spit out shit all day long. Who was I trying to convince? It got me nowhere. So I'm not like throwing shade on her. I used to be that person. And now I'm starting to recognize that in everybody else. So if you're on your healing journey, keep going. It's a beautiful journey, and when you finally start feeling secure, it's so freeing, because you really are truly embodying it. So making sure that you're embodying what you're saying is super important, and keep going. And if anyone wants to work with me, I will be opening up some sessions online at the start of January. I'll be opening up my my clients to my online sessions. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a great day.